There we go. That should be set up. Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, aka Mr. Everything, coming back at you with some painting that we've got going on. This is our Wargaming weekly live stream. And I have to share this with you. This was something funny and ridiculous, and we are starting a little bit early today, 5 minutes, 5 minutes early, because hey, I was all set up, ready to go, so let's go ahead and do it. I got my camera working. You can see I've got my camera working right here. Yesterday it wasn't working. All I had to do was unplug it and plug it back in. Except I plugged it into a different USB. Not because that was planned. It was just when I was reaching beyond my computer, it was just more convenient. I just plugged it into a different USB. Let me finish this, knock this out. Okay, that's knocked out. All right. Something funny. The show yesterday, because we did have a show yesterday, was I started the show and I conducted the show and everything, thinking that yesterday was Wednesday. I was like, it's Wednesday. I'm not going to be able to stream all day because I have a D&D game that I have to get ready for. And where did that piece go? There it is. There was a little piece of metal still sticking out that I hadn't cut off during the cleaning process. And sometimes they will show up during the painting process because, I'm paying attention to all the little details. And after you prime it, it makes it easier for you to see all the metal. Because sometimes, bare metal it's hard to see all the little burrs and stuff like that. But once it's primed, it's easier to see. But yeah, so I was conducting the show as if yesterday was Wednesday. And then I was getting ready for my D&D game, thinking that I had to run it at like 7. And so I was working on the map and working on the monster and all that stuff. Just D&D stuff. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna host another show today. And so I went in to schedule the show. And I was like, wait, what am I doing? I'm trying to schedule it on Wednesday, but there's already I'm trying to schedule it on, the following day, I should say. And then I'm like, well, the following day, that's Wednesday. And I was like, what's today? And then I looked on the calendar and I'm like, oh crap, today's Tuesday. So So I had a Tuesday show thinking it was Wednesday. And then I was going to schedule a show today thinking it was Thursday. But it doesn't matter. We're getting these two shows back to back. And I started painting these models yesterday. So if you're watching yesterday's show, you're aware of what I'm doing here. But if you missed it, these are Perry models, 28 millimeter, KGL light figures. There's 24 of them. We're making the 2nd Light Battalion, KGL. And I am very close to finishing them. Usually when I do muskets, and that's what I'm doing right now, usually when I do muskets, I am very close to finishing, because I do the muskets, and then I'll do the wood of the musket. That's what I'm doing now. I'll do the wood of the musket, and then the metal, the steel or what have you, throughout the entire model. Musket and swords. Then I'll do the slings, and then I'll pretty much be done. But in this case, I have not done the pom-poms or the cords, so I need to do those. I don't mean done, because okay, that sounded too final. I should say I would be ready to wash them. Because I go in and put details on some things after the wash dries. Sometimes I'll even put 2 or 3 layers of wash. Like, I'll paint something, I'll wash. I'll paint something else, I'll wash. It just depends. I pretty much don't do that anymore. I used to do that when I was younger. The washing, layered washing, does make the wash thicker, and yeah, it makes the wash build up into the corners and cracks thicker, but well, I shouldn't say but, I should say and it helped me at the time see details, because the wash would bring out the details. Here's some more of that. Okay, that fixed that. Alrighty. But I found that was just being excessive. You don't need to do that. You don't need to layer that wash on there. Now on these guys, I plan to use strong tone. And then come back afterward and do some highlighting. But the strong tone will really bring out the details. I'm using a beige brown for musket wood or rifles. You know. I've already done the cross straps, backpack straps. I did that this morning. That was a little time consuming. Went ahead and did their mustaches, because these guys all have mustaches. Like almost all of them have mustaches. You know, because KGL, they're pretty much Germans. Right? They're King's German Legion. And I finally found my wife's makeup and had that boxed up and shipped out. For those of you that were curious. That was an ordeal yesterday. She basically had put the makeup in the box that she normally uses for her shipping supplies. She's got some envelopes and some boxes and some wrapping paper and stuff like that in a box. But at the bottom of the box, underneath all that, was her makeup. And I was like, oh. I didn't look there. Because it used to be in a separate box. But I guess as it starts to sell and her collection starts to dwindle, I guess she consolidated it all into one box. All right. We're not done with the wood just yet. I'm just switching brushes because if I remember right, there's a couple of guys here. I think it was, okay, not them. Maybe these guys, yep. Switching to a much smaller brush. Because the shoulder stock is so small. but I wanted to get it. Okay. All right, so it takes just a few seconds for that to dry. And then I can put this color away because it's done. Yeah, this color is done as well. I'm not going back to that. We might be... Yep, okay. Yep, these are the last colors that I... before washing. Or even... Actually, yeah, this is going to be a before and after wash. Well, we're going to do this one next. This is going to be the metallic. No, let's do the brass. The brass is only going to be on two things. The two bugles. And that's it. I'm going to put it away. Now, brass likes to settle, I've noticed. And gets kind of chunky in there. Usually all that takes is a little extra shaking. Just open it up, close it, and do a little bit more shaking. Yeah, I thought my boy was still here today, but I went outside just a little while ago and I noticed his car was gone. So he probably had to work today. So I'm here all by myself. I'm really giving this a workout. Contains glycol ethers and ester. Huh. See how that shook up a lot better. I'm still going to do it one more time. It says it's a cancer and reproductive harm. Never knew that on acrylic paint. Stir well. Water wash up. Rust-Oleum Corporation. Yeah. Rust-Oleum bought testers a while back. And Model Master, if I remember right, is a tester product. And now, I guess it would be a Rust-Oleum product. Vernon Hills, Illinois. Made in the USA. Okay. Give it a little bit of a last minute shake. What's funny is I went through all that trouble just for these two little bugles. But hey, brass likes to settle. I don't know what it is about the brass. And I do mean the Rust-Oleum brass. Really? Finding a lot of burrs. I don't know what's up, but we're getting them fixed as we go. A lot of times I will use gold, bright gold, on anything that would normally be brass. Mainly just to, okay, there's, both of them should be on this sprue. Ah, here it is. Knowing that when I go over it with my wash, it's going to darken it down anyway. But I want her to be accurate. And usually I only do that on my 15 millimeters because of the way size, how it will impact what the figure looks like. Colors look different or have different impacts on different scale figures. So like if you put gold on a, or okay, let's just say a white. If you put a white on a 28 millimeter model, and then you put a white on a 15 millimeter model, it'll have a bigger impact on the 15 millimeter model than it will on the 28 millimeter model, even though it's the same color. I'm not really sure why that is. I'm not a scientist. I've been putting a lot of thought into my website, and how I'm going to, what I'm going to put on, like the terms and conditions and all that. I've been thinking about it probably a little bit too much, actually. I've got one of these swords on the wall. No, not this wall. I got him on another wall. It's a metal sword sheath. Okay, the two officers. Okay, maybe I can do that on the inside. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so the two officers have got their swords and their sheaths done. Now I've got 1,000,000 muskets. And bayonets. Now there is a comment on the website where I use to get the painting patterns and plates for this. There's a comment on there saying that the flankers would no, wait, hold on. That was on the Prussians. I'm getting mixed up. Yeah, on the Prussians, when I was doing the reserve, it said the reserve battalions would always have their bayonets affixed. I thought that was kind of interesting. So obviously I'm not going to be able to have these guys finished on camera today because primarily the wash has a dry time, 30 minutes to an hour. Now the second KGL were the guys that were deployed in La Haye Sainte at Waterloo. But they were at a bunch of other battles, throughout the peninsula, etc. Like Salamanca. Fuentes de Honoro, I think it was another one. Yeah. So these guys are coming along really well. I'm sure I'll have them finished by today. Washed, detailed, highlighted, based, sealed. because all of those are pretty quick steps. Okay. Now there's something on this figure that I thought was pretty cool. He's got a like a monopod that he's holding his musket up with. There's two figures like that. They're identical. Lets him get a very steady shot. Might have to break the brass out again, because I do think there's a little plate at the bottom of these muskets that are brass, and I see it's modeled. Let's get some light on this. Damn. My camera and my microphone are blocking the light. Okay. So maybe I will keep the brass out. Good. If I'm not talking, it's because I'm thinking. Thinking hard. You know, got my tongue out. And I'm thinking. Okay. So that's all the gunmetal. And while I'm thinking about it, let's just go ahead and knock this brass out. If you guys want to chit-chat, say something, or chime in, you're welcome to do so. I still have a ton of British models and French left over from my Waterloo project that I might paint up and put up on the store. And then as soon as I get the Prussian flags, I'll do them as well. Now, I didn't think of this until now, but the crossguard on these swords should be brass. It's almost like a little... It's not just a crossguard. It's almost like a... What do they call it? a hilt, a quillion, a basket hilt. Basically, it's got a curved protective cover. Okay. Yep, there we go. See, there's this little brass piece on the end of the sword. I don't know. Do I have my focus? I might even have focus enabled. Yeah, there's a brass piece right there. But that's part of the actual base plate. There should be, the entire bottom should also be brass, not just that little stub. And not all the muskets have it. But the ones that do are getting it painted. Whether they like it or not. And if the musket is like tucked up into their shoulder, you can't paint it because there's nothing there to paint. If that makes sense. Now, I don't have a whole lot of news today, you know, about miniatures or model kits or anything like that. Okay, this doesn't have a fold-up side, but it does have a brass plate that I can actually see. Okay, those are interestingly good. Those are, well, not all of these are tucked. Yep. Laying up against his inner thigh, but that side thing is exposed. Okay. Yep. Okay, here we go. Oh, those look good. Okay. Okay, that honestly should be the end of the brass. Because I'm not going to paint the little... there's like a bugle pin on the front of some of these guys' Shakos, but it's not on all of them. So I'm not going to do it. It was only a couple of them, so. I guess I could go in there and hand draw a little bugle, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not that anal. Okay. Green or sling? I think I'm going to do the sling because I got some of this black already mixed. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my pre-mixed black for their slings. Drop a little water in there. Stir that water into this paint. Reconstitute a little bit. And again, it's not black. It's like dark gray, like a black gray or a German gray. It's called German tanker uniform. All right. I don't know if you can see that on the... Yeah, you can see it on the screen. So we're just doing slings. Okay, that was good. Looking good. I honestly thought these two miniatures were the same, but they are not. This one has a sling that hangs down, and this one has a sling that's nice up and tight against the musket. I didn't even realize that. Now these guys are using a technique that I used when I was on the marksmanship team, where they take the sling and they wrap it around your wrist and pull it tight so that your musket doesn't move. I don't know, you can't really see it, but they've got the sling wrapped around his wrist, pulled tight. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I used to be in the 101st Airborne Division. And I qualified number 4 in the division. I was the 4th best shot with an M16 in the division. Wait, I didn't... Okay, I'm glad I revisited this because I didn't realize I didn't do his collar. Not his collar, but his little shoulder puff. I said I did all the shoulder puffs. Okay, I did this side, but I just didn't do these sides. Okay, cool. It's good to revisit them. Yeah, and so by qualifying 4th in the division, they recruited me to be on the marksmanship team. And then we would travel to various other bases and have rifle competitions. And we would travel with our pistol team, a sniper team, and I think a machine gun team. We had these marksmanship competitions. And it's not just shooting, which is kind of... Once I joined the team, I didn't realize what went into it. But we had these, like, speed shooting contests and endurance contests. I've got like 8 trophies in the garage. They're not trophies, they're more like plaques. It's like a wooden plaque with a, "You shot really good." Yeah. So that was actually like the last 6 months of my military career was on this rifle team. And those guys were holding their slings just like we were taught to hold our slings during some of those competitions. There was this speed shooting contest that we would have to train up for, and which I found to be one of the best competitions in that whole thing. And part of it was you started standing up above your spot, you know, your mark. And when they said go, you had to sit down and fire like, I don't know, 3 shots. I'm trying to remember. It was so long ago. But you had to fire like 3 shots from the seated position. And then you had to scoot forward into a prone position and then fire like 3 more shots. It was, and I think we had to fire from the kneeling position. Oh, wait. Okay. You had to fire from the standing position, the seated position, and the prone position. Right. And the targets were 800 meters away. Right? the size of a dinner plate. Yeah, we had to hit a dinner plate at 800 meters. And our coach, because we had a coach that had, you know, did this. And we would stand with our legs crossed. Okay, so like left foot in front of the right foot on the opposite side. So our feet were crossed. And at about a 45, and then our torso is about a 45-degree angle from our line of fire, right? Which is no big deal, because standing's so horrible anyway that crossed legs actually made our firing platform more stable, actually, which I wasn't expecting that. But that wasn't why we did that. We did that so that we could fire our 3 shots and then immediately drop into a seated firing position. So when your legs are crossed and you're standing, you could actually just sit down, straight down. It was kind of a unique experience for me. But we would stand cross-legged, pop, 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 then drop with our legs crossed to the ground. So now we're sitting there Indian style, or whatever you would like to call it. And we would take a few shots, pop, pop, pop. And then we would just lunge forward into a prone position. It was actually I would not have ever done it that way, right? that would never have crossed my mind to do that, because I wasn't a veteran, or I wasn't I was a rookie at the rifle team. And they had some interesting techniques to help us win. And we won. We won many a shoot. Okay. We got the slings done. So I didn't even need this out, saved. This is actually going to be an after wash kind of thing. So it's going to be this and then wash. Oh, got some chats. Let me lean back and read them before we get into the green. And as you know, those are not my reading glasses. Those are my painting glasses. Let's putting them on reading glass. Oh my gosh. I can't believe the chats we got. Aren't these great? Now, I could have swore that I banned these guys. So, first of all, I'm going to report them. And then I will hide user on this channel. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why. Every now and then a porn site will pop up. I'm sure they've got bots that browse everybody that's live. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I watch a lot of porn. No, I don't know. I don't think. Oh my god. Okay. Which actually I don't. Okay, here we go. Final touches. This is going to be a two-brush, two-step process. The first step is just the pom-poms. And I'm going to use a larger brush for that. Just to speed the process up. And then the second half will be a smaller brush painting the chords. Whoa. Okay. Should be all right. So I got everything ready for the D&D game last night. So I don't actually have anything to get ready today because I did it all last night. So if I wanted to, or if you wanted me to, I could stay a little bit longer to finish these models. Since I'm going to be painting them anyway today, might as well leave the camera on, right? You know, I guess I could have like music playing in the background or something. that would mean I wouldn't have to constantly talk. Because I'm basically just trying to fill dead air for you guys. But I'm running out of things to talk about. So today should be the last day of the free fly in Star Citizen. So if you were interested in playing or trying Star Citizen, today is the last day of the free fly. What that means is you can log in and play the game for free. And then if you like it, you can buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. So there was a guy who applied to my squadron in June. That's right. Last night, I was going through all the applications, and it looks like I had overlooked his. And I was like, oh crap, he applied in June. That was like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And I checked his profile, and it looks like he has no other squadrons. So I hit accept. And if you're out there listening, which you're probably not, but if you are, I am super sorry that it took so long. But I assume it didn't bother him, because if it had bothered him, he would have dropped me a message saying, hey, I applied, waiting for a response or something like that. There was a second guy that had applied at the same time, or 2 weeks later, but still in June. And I checked his profile, and it looks like he's a member of a fairly large organization. When I say large, I'm talking about 1,000 or more people in the organization. When you're in an organization of 1,000 or more people, I don't accept those applications. He probably joined them after he applied to us, because we're similar organizations. We're mercenaries. We're not mercenaries, but military themed organizations. That one is a mercenary organization. We're more of a quasi imperial unit. I've had problems, online guilds. I've had problems in one of my previous guilds, which was in MechWarrior Online. there was a group of guys that joined our organization with the goal of cherry picking our members to switch to their organization. And that was a big eye-opener for me. Okay, so that's all the pom-poms. Now we're going to get into something a little bit more finite, or I should say, I don't know what the word is, but finesse, no. I need a little bit more precision on my painting because it's just a few chords. The officer should have gold chords, right? Oh, no. Okay. I'm not done. Gonna need to do gold here in a minute because the officers have gold chords. But everyone else has green chords. Okay, so I'm looking for a little precision. Maybe that's the word I was looking for. Oh, wait. Aha. So it does connect. Okay. And these chords aren't short, right? They go all the way down to their waistcoats. They're like these long chords. Okay. They go once around the shako. And then down to the waist. And the bugle has some cords wrapped around it. Okay, that looks good. This is the time-consuming part. I can only do one Shako at a time. But it's coming out really well. It's not having any troubles. Whoa, I almost slipped. Actually, I did slip. I just didn't. Luckily, the paintbrush didn't hit anything. All right. Okay. That guy went pretty slowly. Oh yeah, this is a different model. Even though they look almost exactly the same, they are different. Okay. So if you guys are in chat, I would like to know if you have a Napoleonic army or armies, and which ones they are. Like, what do you collect? Do you collect a little bit of everything? Do you collect only French? Do you collect only British or Russian or Prussian? I would really like to know what everybody's kind of collecting. I don't collect just one army. If you're the same way, let me know what you're collecting. Are you collecting for a specific battle? Are you collecting for a campaign? Or just two of your favorite armies? Or are you collecting just one army? Or let me know, guys. Put it in chat. If you don't collect Napoleonics, say that. Say, I collect World War II models, or whatever you do. Okay, I was starting to get a little lazy. I'm glad I caught myself. Okay, I see nobody's responding. But that's okay. If you guys are watching at work or listening at work and you don't have an opportunity to reply, or maybe you're painting models and you don't really have an opportunity to reach over and reply, I'm okay with that. Now, I noticed a scale discrepancy between manufacturers when I was putting together those Prussians. I noticed that there was, okay, because these are the brands that I was using. I had Front Rank, Old Glory, Wargames Atlantic. Just looking at those, there were some really huge scale differences. And so I thought I'd like to make a video comparing those. In case you were interested. All right. Knowing this, knowing that all my figures have like a different millimeter scale, they're all just a little bit different. I was going to intermix them in the units to make the unit look a little bit more realistic. Because not everybody's the same height, right? So if I've got some people that are 6 feet and some people that are 5'9", that'll be fine. And that's what I plan to do with those Prussians. I'm going to mix them up. Okay. This is not super hard. I mean, it is. You got to stay focused and you got to really be, you got to have a steady hand. But it's just so not time consuming. That's not really fair. Monotonous. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Because I got to go through and do all these little chords. I guess it's not just chords. It's chords and tassels. Okay. Man, I love me some Perry miniatures. I wish I could have continued doing my 28mm Napoleonics because these are some nice miniatures. They're just too darn big. That's why I switched to 15s. All right, we're making progress. I might be taking a 5-minute break here and once I get this green done. Just so you know. So you can plan ahead. because my stomach is saying, you need to go use the bathroom. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out right now. That way I'm not sitting here all uncomfortable. All right, guys. I will be back in 5 minutes. All right. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully I didn't lose everybody. Alright, hey, I still got to do these two with green, and then we'll do maybe a little gold on the officers, and then we'll do a wash. But before that, I'm actually going to make myself some tea. Which one? I'm going to go with some Lipton, I think. I think it's my favorite. Okay, so now we're just waiting for the water to boil. I've got my little kettle going. So let's shake this up. Okay, sounds like my water's already done. Okay, well dang. What's past? Alright. That can sit and brew. While I work on these guys. Okay. I used to be a big coffee drinker, right? I used to drink a lot of coffee. And then when we got this kettle, I should say I got the kettle. When I got this kettle, because I got it for like hot chocolate or, you know, things like that. But once I got it, I kind of switched to tea. And I've been drinking tea ever since. It's just been like, I drink like maybe 2 cups a day. Hot tea. Okay, we are almost done with this green. Now, just FYI, I use the same green that I'm painting their chords as a highlight on the hunter green. After the wash. I like to do highlights after washes because it helps me clean up any stains that the wash might have left. My washing technique doesn't usually leave a lot of stains because I use a thinner, a blender, I guess is what you would call it. I don't know what you would call it. It's a wash mixing medium, but it's from Liquitex and not like Army Painter or whatever. The Army Painter wash mixing medium is too thick. It basically turns the wash into like makes it too sticky. I want it to be runny. I want it to like almost be watery. Almost. Now, I don't think I disabled the focus today. I think the focus on the camera is on automatic. So I would think that if I held one of these miniatures up close to the camera, it would autofocus. But I could be wrong. Yeah, you see how it focuses and then it doesn't focus. Okay, well, plus the center of the camera is here and not here because I've got I've got it adjusted. But yeah, see all the green cords? Okay, there we go. Okay, green cords are done, but I'm not putting the green away because I will use it as a highlight. Now I've got some gold cords I really need to do for these two models. And then I will be ready Whoa. Then I will be ready to pull my tea bag out. No, then I'll be ready to do a wash. Oh, this isn't closed. Okay. That makes me think. Yeah, okay, that's true. I knew that. Yeah, that'll work. Checking the mixture of my gold. Okay. Is that going to work? Okay, we'll find out. It's actually a braided red and gold cord. So technically this cord is not just gold, but I'm painting it just gold. If I really wanted to, I could like throw a little bit of red in there as well to try to make it look like it's braided or whatever. But I'm not going to do that. I think the gold makes the braid just, well, makes the officer stand out better. I don't imagine what it would feel like to wear one of these uniforms. It's just so ornate. You know, like so many buttons and braids and cords and belts and ribbons and okay. That's the gold. Okay, so now we're going to apply a wash to these guys. I'm going to start on this side, work our way, and by the time we get to here, the gold should be dry. Whoa. Okay. The wash I'm going to be using is Strong Tone, and then I have a mix of my wash mixing medium that I created. Whoa, I almost picked up my tea and just started drinking it. Oh my gosh, I can't do that. I got to get rid of this tea bag. Hang on. I'm not going to drink it with the tea bag. Okay. Tea bag down. All right, now it's probably still too hot, but we'll check it. Yep, not too hot, but still hot. All right. Shake, rattle, and roll. We're going to put I'm going to put 50 drops in here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I decided to do 48, not 50. Basically 2 per figure. And then I'll put 12 drops of this one. Okay, 12 drops of the thinner. This looks like a good horrible brush right here. A good horrible brush. do a little mixing. Should be good. And we apply it liberally on to your model. Does that look liberal? Yes. Now I was noticing that these Shakos have chin straps. Those will be painted after the wash, during the highlighting stage. Like when if I decide to fix the flesh, that's when I would go in and do the chin straps. Okay, I'm not being liberal enough. It looks like I'm being too judicious with my wash. Okay. Because these guys are wearing like a dark green jacket, and a lot of their like straps are black, I went with the strong tone on the wash, because if I tried like a soft tone, it would have just been lost in the uniform. There wouldn't have been any advantage to doing a wash. It would have just disappeared. Now, I could have went with like a dark tone, but that winds up being black, and it makes everything look black or gray. It ruins models. I don't use... Now, if I was doing some black outlining or maybe a tank, like engine compartment or something like that, then yes, I would do use the dark tone. But I think strong tone is like perfect for models, dark models. I use soft tone on almost all my bright colored models. I very rarely will use the light tone. It's just too wishy-washy. That makes sense. Okay, hang on. What's going on here? A little bit of a collection. Okay. And if you're too liberal with it, you'll get puddles or pools. And so I try to avoid being too liberal. or if I see pools or puddles are starting to form, then I will go back in with a dry brush. Well, a brush where the same brush, but with no wash on it, and then kind of soak up any of the excess. To kind of try to get rid of the puddles. Well, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope you have even a better Christmas. The forecast for today was 23 degrees. Well, it said 45 high and a 23 cold, but or low, I should say. But I thought it was a little warmer than that when I stepped outside just a moment ago. But maybe the high is about 45 because I guess it could have been about 45. And the low is probably going to be like later tonight after the sun goes down and stuff like that. But it was going to be 23, so that's freaking cold. Not like Ukraine, but still, it's cold. And I was right. Remember, I was talking about calculating costs of painting battalions or whatever. I can paint a battalion in 2 days from start to finish. Does that include basing and flocking and all that? I think it will. I think I'll have everything done by today. If I do, I will be sure to take some photos, obviously, because I'm going to be selling this on eBay. So what I'll do is I'll take those photos, or I'll take a video and I'll show you guys like the end result. Because I don't think we're going to get to the end result today. Mainly because I don't want you to sit here and just watch these figures dry, because the wash takes about 30 minutes to an hour to get to a point that I can start doing some highlighting on them. Couple of NCO models here. Alongside a couple of officers. Yep, maybe I should have did 50 drops, because I'm getting so close to the end. I might not have enough for the 2 officers. Well, let's find out. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to. Yeah. Let's go 4 drops. Okay, we'll call it 5. And then 1 drop. Okay, 2. 2 to 5 is probably way too high of a ratio. But that's okay. That means it'll just run, but what? Oh no. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it'll just run better. Okay, didn't do the legs over here, or his sword arm, or his gloves. This all looks good. Okay. So that's going to sit there for 30 minutes to an hour. And you guys don't want to see that, or maybe you do. Maybe you just want to watch paint dry. But right. Now I thought about how I wanted to base these guys, because black powder uses 40 millimeter bases, 4 figures on a 40 millimeter base, which is probably the most popular Napoleonics game out there right now. But a lot of other Napoleonics games also use similar basing methods. But there's also the possibility that someone would want to use these as a skirmish formation, and so I considered maybe basing them individually on 20 millimeter bases, because 4 20 millimeter bases side by side winds up being a 40 by 40. Yeah. Which would be more versatile for players. That tea is just the right amount of warmth. And it's making me want to guzzle it. So I'm just going to have to kind of force myself not to guzzle that tea. But I don't want to base them 20 by 20s. I want to base them 40 by 40s. I want to make 6 40 by 40 bases. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. But I just wanted to say that I had thought about it. That I was going to do a maybe individual bases, maybe even round bases for some of these skirmish games out there, like hell, what's that game called? Chosen Men? I've got that game. Let me see what I got. Let me see where it is. Yeah, it was right behind me. Yeah, I've got this game called Chosen Men, right? It's yeah, these guys are the 95th Rifles, the Chosen Men, you know, but it reminds me of these guys. Hey, look, he's got that little brass piece on the back of his musket. And the brass bottom. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those are the 95th Rifles, but models, officers, soldiers. Yeah, units of 5 to 20 models. Unit types, infantry and cavalry and artillery and independent officers. Formations. They arranged in skirmish. Ah, here it is. Infantry models are single men on foot mounted on a round base of between 25 and 32 millimeters. Yeah, I've got a ton of 25 millimeter circles. You know, and they kind of show them how they're based individually. I could easily do that for these guys. And look at that. They're showing like if they form up and stuff like that. Yeah, this is a pretty cool skirmish Napoleonic game. I dig it a lot. But I don't know how popular it is amongst my customers, right? It's only a $20 set of rules. It's Osprey. Yeah, I don't know how popular that set of rules is. So I don't know if there's anybody out there playing it or not. But I know people play Black Powder. There's probably a lot of people playing Black Powder, so I'm going to base them like Black Powder. You know what I might do? Not with these guys. But what I might do is take some of my French and my British, just grab like a dozen and paint them up and then mount them on round bases and see if they sell. To see if that is a market. Because if it is a market, if that's something that people need or are looking for, then I might do that. Yeah, I might do that. You know, they're five figure units. You can have them up to 20 figures. So I could get like 5 British guys, paint them up, and see if someone's going to buy them. Or I could do a dozen of them, or 8 of them, or something like that, just to see what, maybe 10, just to see if that's a market. 10 sounds good, because if someone got them, they could make 2 squads or 1 big squad or whatever. I think I might do that. Because I'm sure there's other skirmish games out there that I don't own, that I don't know about. I'm noticing the wash is starting to drip down to their feet, which is good. That means it's thinning out on the upper parts. If it darkens their feet, that's fine, because their feet are black. And if it darkens the figure base itself, that's fine as well, because that's going to be flocked. Yeah. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, yep. I'm a yep, yep. Okay, so what's my next project? Probably... See, I'm waiting for some payments to come in before I start any more of my commissions. Basically, all my commissions are on hold until the ones that I've finished actually get paid for. Because I don't want to keep working on commissions and then not get paid for them. But they've all communicated to me that they're going to be sending me their payments. And that's great. So basically everything I'm doing now is for this, either for the store or for myself. You guys didn't get a chance to see this because I didn't show it. I just talked about it. But I did this day before yesterday. Yeah, assembled and primed one day and then painted the next. This thing looks really good. I don't think my pictures on eBay do it justice. This thing looks really good. I don't know how if you guys can see that, but it's a Firefly. This is not olive drab. Okay, I took the advice of Plastic Soldier Company. They said paint it Russian uniform. Okay, where are you at, Russian uniform? They said paint it Russian uniform, so that's what I painted it. Oh, Russian uniform. I actually have a Vallejo spray primer. I spray primed it Russian uniform. It looked a little dark. The spray primer looked a little dark. So I went back over it with the bottle paint, and it turned out, I didn't like paint it on. I kind of just blended it in, and it looks really good. I mean, you guys tell me what you think, but I got like the tank number on there. I've got formation number, the division. I think that's first armored. I was starting to peel off. No, you are not allowed to do that. Huh. Yeah, I noticed that these decals that I were using were a little old. Yeah, we got the tools all painted. The numbers. I have some rust. It's not that one. Dark rust from Vallejo. And that's what you see along the edges. Oil caps, gas caps. Some rust around the doors, breaker bars. Yeah, I think this piece came out pretty good. I'm only a little bit dissatisfied with the decals. But this is on my store right now if you're interested. So I'm trying to think. I could do another vehicle. I could crank out some bolt action stuff. Okay, I'm going to take these glasses off. That's my painting glasses. Let's put my reading glasses on so it doesn't strain my eyes as much as it was. Yeah, so chilling like a villain. I could do some Romans. I could do some undead, some halflings, some fantasy figures. I got orcs. The Asbad orcs or whatever. I've got a whole box full of those things. I've had that box up there for over a year now, and I've assembled like 3 of them, and just never got motivated to sell those or put them together and paint them or anything. So they're just sitting up there. I've got some skeletons from Wargames Atlantic. I could do some more skeletons. I love skeletons. That's some of my favorite, fantasy armies would be my undead armies. I used to have an undead army for Warhammer that I played in a number of like tournaments and campaigns and stuff like that we would host at the store. and I had a necromancer that was in charge, and I called him Morty. Morty the necromancer. You know, I went Mort, you know, Mort for death, Latin for death. So his name was Morty, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with that undead army, with mummies and zombies and skeletons and all that stuff. Well, I've got some Wargames Atlantic skeletons that I've never put together and painted ever. And if I did, I would do it for Oathmark. I would paint them and put them together for Oathmark, because Oathmark's a pretty good fantasy set of rules. It's not extremely hard. Guess who? I think Osprey's involved in that one too, actually. Damn, a lot of the games I play are Osprey. I don't know where my Oathmark is. I think it's behind this box. Moving boxes. Because there's Land of the Free. That's Osprey. Oh, this is probably it right here. Yep, Osprey. Look at that. I play a lot of Osprey. Here's Oathmark. Osprey Publishing. This book. I also have the Undead Army book, but like stats for the units, it's not complicated. And that's like one of their Osprey photos of just some Viking dude. But yeah, this is a good set of rules. I really like it. Way better than Warhammer. Now those guys, they mount everything. Well, not everything, but your normal sized creatures are all mounted on a 1-inch base. So a skeleton, a dwarf, a halfling, a human, an elf, zombie, mummy, you know, anything like that would all be on a 1-inch base. Very straightforward. Not like Warhammer, where you had different size bases for different types of troops. Now, if you go with like an ogre or something, yeah, you got a bigger base for that. But so I could do some fantasy. I kind of want to paint up some halflings, actually, but I'm putting that off. I don't know if vehicles are easy to do. Like you saw that tank, it only took me a day to do it. But infantry's a little bit harder to do. Romans. You know, I think I might do some Romans. Yeah. I think my next group of guys is going to be Romans. Okay, I wonder if that's the postman. If it is, let me go check. Because it's that time. I'll be right back. guys, I am back. Give me a second to go through this. This is a lot of junk mail, looks like. Okay, I don't know what that is. Amazon Prime? What the heck? Okay, Amazon's trying to get me to get a credit card. Got it. Okay. The mail that was out there, was all mixed up. It was like, hey, got some coupons. You gotta love some coupons. A coupon for life insurance. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's true, but I would never worry about that. What is this? I'm going to give my wife all of this. I'll have to think about that. I don't think I need another credit card. Romans. Maybe some Romans. Well, I see it's after 1 o'clock, and 1 o'clock is normally when we end, but that's normally because I have to prepare for my D&D game. But my D&D game is already good to go. These guys don't look like they're ready for highlighting yet. They still look a little wet. Actually, I think I have a bunch of barbarians. See, what's going through my mind is I've got all these boxes of armies or army sets, like the Battle of Britain or whatever, you know, where it had Romans and barbarians, Celtic, German, Gaelic or whatever in the box. And I've already painted like the Romans, so the Gaelics, I just put them back in the box and put them on the shelf. So I'm looking at all my shelf boxes up there, and I'm seeing what am I seeing? Let's take a quick look. I know you're not on camera, but that's fine. This needs to be put away anyway. Okay, let's start with this Blitzkrieg Army. Anything in there that I can paint, put together, or is it only parts? Yep. I could probably throw that entire box away, because all it is like heads and arms and... Okay, German Grenadiers. Oh, wait, hold on. What do we got in here? I've got 6 Grenadiers. Warlord sent me a gift of 6 Grenadiers. I could paint those. I could have actually included those with my SS that I painted up about a month ago. Nope, not going to do that. Okay, moving on. Another box. Band of Brothers. That has junk. Okay. So that whole stack is junk. Well, not true. The Grenadiers actually had some Grenadiers in it. I already know. I'm thinking, okay, I've got this Africa Corps box up here. I already know it's got nothing in it. Anything? Nope. Yeah, all these boxes, I honestly could throw them away. Ooh, this is heavy. I wonder what's in here. British 8th Army. 8th Army, bits and pieces and arms and weapons, heads and backpacks, but no models. Right? No, wait, what is this guy? Oh, these guys look like crew for the carriers. Yep. Nada. Okay. Now we're getting into the stuff that I actually think I have stuff in the box. Invasion of Britain. Yep, look at this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 38, 48. That's a perfect 2 units of 24. Okay, so I got 48 Britons. Yep. 48 Britons. That's a possibility. That's a maybe. 48 Britons. Caesar Rome, squat diddly poop. Imperial Rome. Ooh, what have we got in here? Got a bunch of decals. Oh, okay. Victrix parts and pieces. No real miniatures. That's some bullshit. Okay. British sprues for Napoleonics. Got a ton of those. What is this? Jack Diddley Poop. Okay, so this is my successor starter army. It's basically just parts and pieces, so that doesn't count. And this is my British sprues. Okay, so the only thing that turned up gold was the British Barbarians. So if I wanted to do Romans, I would have to open a new box. And I don't think I want to do that. But I could do those Barbarians. Yeah, I've got 48 of them, and that's basically 2 units of 24. So that's pretty good. Yep, that's pretty good. That's what I'll do. Any command on any of these? Doesn't look like it. Oh, wait. There's this and this and... Okay. These are not the same sprues. Okay. Yep. One of them has 2 standards and a horn. So I can put... I'm looking for somebody that's carrying a standard. I see overhead javelins, but not like... Yeah, I see overhead javelins. Nope, that guy, these two guys could easily be carrying a standard. Okay, yeah. I'm going to be able to make 2 units out of this. But not today. Maybe tomorrow. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out with me. This is where we're going to end it for today. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and if you want to see more videos like this, be sure, or be notified whenever I go live, be sure to hit the notification icon. Later today, when these guys are a little bit drier than they are right now, I'll be sure to go ahead and touch them up with a little bit of highlight, both their gray pants and their green tunics, and chin straps. That's really what I'm planning on touching up. I don't think I'll be needing to touch up any flesh or anything. We'll see. I mean, yeah, right out, you know, as it's wet, it still looks, and plus I haven't hit it with a dull coat yet either, because a dull coat will actually lighten it up a little bit sometimes. But I'm not going to hit it with a dull coat until the wash is completely dry, because I don't know if you knew this, but any moisture in and around the dull coat will cause it to turn white. So definitely have to wait for that. So later today, highlight, maybe late. Well, actually, I could probably base them. Before I do the dull coat. So yeah, I'll probably do this, and then before the D&D game, I'm going to base them, and then after the D&D game, dull coat them, because that'll give it enough time for the basing to dry and for the wash to have completely dried. And then I'll record it and I'll upload it as like a channel update kind of thing. All right, guys. So I'll see you